Now we're going over to the calculators. And did we all get regression number 1 file to open? Okay. And so we should be, let's not scroll to the top here, let me go up. You should be seeing numbers like that. Okay, and so what is this data? This is the yards of what? Career passing yards. How many total yards this particular quarterback passed in their entire professional career, and then comparing it to how many touchdowns they scored. Okay, would you expect there to be a correlation? Do you think there's a connection? Is it somewhat?
Somebody could be more of a runner, more of a...
That's true, somebody could be more of a runner, so there may not be a perfect correlation here, but you would generally assume somebody who passed for more yards
would have less touchdowns.
You think they're going to have less touchdowns. So that would be a negative correlation.
It's a positive. Wait. Variable or...
Just based on if this guy passed for 71,000 yards, do you think that he should have more touchdowns than somebody who passed for 70,000 yards? So we'll see here. So obviously, I assume some of you have already put this on your scatter plot since you already told me what correlation it is. Oh, okay. All right. Do you remember how to go make a scatter plot of this? You need a new page. How do you put a new page in?
Control add. Control doc.
Control doc. It says little plus page above it. So control doc. And what do you add here? It's data and statistics, not the one you would think of. So number 5. And you get your random points. Okay. Then if you read the instructions under number 1 on your sheet, it says you're supposed to put yardage on the x-axis and touchdowns on the y-axis. Okay, I have an exceptional amount of stuff because I've been messing with this, so ignore all my extra goo right now. All right, I have yards down here, and I have touchdowns. So what kind of a correlation would you say it looks like we have? Looks like a fairly positive correlation, yes. Okay. Now, what we want to do, the new part of this, is I want to come up with an equation of a line that we could use to model this. Okay, and so I'm going to ask you guys, first of all here, if I said, draw a line on there yourself, where would you draw a line that you think would kind of model or fit this situation? You would start at 0, 0?
No.
Okay. That's not the tool. I said switch tools, dude. Oh, no, cancel. Undo. Okay. Oh, I said, okay. You were starting at, we'll do several. All right, where do I go? Right there. Okay, anybody else want to argue for a different line? Does it always have to start at 0, 0?
No, move it up. I always move it up slightly on the y-axis.
Okay, so you want to start at?
Stay there. No, down. There.
The stick mark?
Yeah. And then go through the left. Go up. Go cross. Down. Cross through the blue.
Cross.
Yeah. There. Yeah. So you're going to another.
You want to go down more, or you want me to leave it there?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, it slipped a little bit. Okay. So there's the question. What's the best line? If I have all of you draw it, we're probably going to get 16 different lines.
I like the one
because we're not all going to agree the same. So how do you decide what's the best line?
Which one gets the most points?
Okay. Most people think it's the one that goes to the most points.
No.
That's not the case.
The one in the middle.
You need the most equal amount of points on either side of the line. You want to get balanced. You want to get the same amount of points on both sides of the line. Okay, there's actually a statistical process for figuring this out. And if you were to do it by hand, it is a hideous, horrible, lengthy calculation. It's a process known as regression. And I'll give you a little taste of what all your calculators do in here in a minute. But it's actually taught in you can learn it in a statistics class, but it's quite a calculation for it to figure out exactly where to put this line. Okay, now, you will discover that your calculator can put this line on there for you. Okay, if you have your purple sheet, it will tell you, I think it's under number 3, regression line. It tells you what to do. What's it telling you to do? Okay, whoa. First, this is the part I don't like. On your scatter plot, if you wanted to just boom, put a quick regression line up there, it will. And it's under, from the scatter plot, yes. So it's under regression lines from letter A. It says choose menu. Oops, I got to go back now. Hang on a sec. All right, save this page, yes. Okay. Unfortunately, it erased my lines now, but we can see them later if we want them. So I go menu. You're analyzing the graph.
The regression.
And then from there, once you get that far, you can see, oh yeah, well, I'm supposed to be doing regression. So that would be the logical choice, which is number 6. And then from there, that you can see that there are many, many different types of regression. Which one are we doing at present? Yeah, we're doing linear mx plus b at the moment. We will actually do this multiple more times throughout this year. Okay, and it puts the line on there. And it shows you the equation of that line. I'm going to throw that up out of the way. All right. If you remember, does that line match the lines we picked?
No, but
Because it's starting higher than 220. If you kind of notice how far off the edge, I can bounce back to where we were on the
it was through the
other one.
Why do I have 2 lines?
Why do you have 2 lines? I don't know why you have 2 lines. Okay, there were our lines. So we were starting lower, ending up higher, and the line it produced was a little lower. And it shows you the equation of that line. And this is all lovely. You get it. It's beautiful. Okay, here's my frustration with it. That's all you can do with it when you're on a data and graphs page. You can look at it. We can't then have it use that equation to calculate anything for us. We can't change the graph. It's just there to look at. Drives me crazy. If we actually want to work with this equation and this line and use it to solve things, we have to get it over onto a graph page, not a data and statistics page, which is annoying. Okay. What I'm going to show you right now is what you have to do to the calculation you have to run. So if you back up to your spreadsheet page, you actually have to tell it to do a calculation on here that will rerun the regression and give you all the information you need. To do that, you need to have your cursor over in a blank column. It is absolutely critical you are in a blank column, or it'll obliterate all this other stuff and totally mess it up. So if you're reading on your purple sheet, we're going to go tell it to do a regression again. This is silly that we have to do this twice. But this time, because we're on the spreadsheet, our menu will look slightly different. Okay? Anybody want to take a guess which one of those sounds logical? I told you this is a statistical calculation. Statistics. Then what? Stat calculation. Okay, and then if you read down a couple, you'll see linear regression mx plus b. So number 3 is what you're after. Whoa, what did I hit? I must not have got number 3. I better do that again. I thought I hit 3. Linear regression. There we go. Okay. It's asking you, what's your x data? You're going to click this little arrow out here. You're only going to see yards and TDs, I think. Oh, you have more stuff now? Okay, because I've done other calculations I have extra. So our X list was yards, and our Y list was touchdowns. That was what we put on each axis. Okay, your save regression equation is probably saying F1. Or is it saying F2? Because I gave you this file. Okay. That's where it's going to store it. It's going to store this equation in F2. So you kind of need to pay attention to that, okay, it's doing F2. The rest of this you should not have to change. Those first three things are what you need to watch. And then go say, okay. And you get a whole bunch of stuff on your screen. Okay, it's telling you, title, it did a linear regression, mx plus b. It's telling you the slope, the b. If you arrow down to each of those, you can see the full number, like, there I am. I'm down there. Right. What I wanted to show you, R is what we're after. I'll talk about this more next class. R is telling you how well it fits. Read that as a percentage. It's about an 87% fit. Our line fits the data like an 87% fit. That's a good fit. Okay, then yes, I want you to take the wireless connectors off. Okay, all you're going to do on your homework is that you can get the other two problems typed in your calculator and do them each in a separate document. Get the data typed in, the scatter plot made. Basically, you can do 1 through 4 and then stop on the other two pages. Okay, do 1 through 4, flip. Then we'll pick up the rest of it next class. How did you erase mine? Did you? Okay. No. That was bad.